OS Deadlock Reenactment video. There was a time where operating systems were only able to execute a single process at a time, thus giving full system resource and attention on that process. Nowadays, operating systems can handle multiple tasks at once. A process in operating system uses resources in the following way. 1. Requests a resource. 2. Use the resource. 3. Releases the resource. However, there are situations where a set of processes are blocked because each process is holding a resource and waiting for another resource acquired by some other processes. If a process is unable to change its state indefinitely due to this situation, then the system is said to be in a deadlock. Consider an example when two trains are coming toward each other on the same track and there is only one track. None of the trains can move once they are in front of each other. A similar situation occurs in operating systems when there are two or more processes that hold some resources and wait for resources held by others. Deadlock can arise if the following four conditions hold simultaneously. 1. Mutual exclusion. 2. Hold and wait. 3. No preemption. 4. Circular wait. They are necessary for a deadlock to occur. If even one of the conditions prove false, deadlock will not occur, otherwise it will. In this video, we will focus on the concept of mutual exclusion and deadlock. The resources in a system can be categorized as either shareable or non-shareable. Shareable resource allows multiple processes to access it at the same time, while non-shareable resource allows only a single process to use it at a time. Mutual exclusion happens when one or more than one resources for which processes are waiting must be non-shareable. This means only one task can be performed at a time and other processes have to wait until the one currently using the resource finished its execution. To clarify mutual exclusion even more, let us take some real-life examples. A public restroom. Only one person at a time can occupy the restroom. If the room is vacant, a person can occupy it, lock it from the inside. Once done, he or she unlocks the room so that it can be used by another person in line. In the clothes section of a supermarket, two ladies are shopping for clothes. Lady A decides upon some clothes to buy and heads to the changing room to try them out. Now, while Lady A is inside the changing room, there is an occupied sign on it, indicating that no one else can come in. Lady B has to use the changing room too, so she has to wait till Lady A is done using the changing room. Once Lady A comes out of the changing room, the sign on it changes from occupied to vacant, indicating that another person can use it. Hence, Lady B proceeds to use the changing room, while the sign displays occupied again. The changing room is nothing but the non-shareable resource. Lady A and Lady B are the two different processes, while the sign outside the changing room refers to the availability status of the resource. Mutual exclusion alone doesn't result to deadlock as the processes can still be executed, albeit one at a time. As I said before, the other three necessary conditions should be true for a deadlock to occur. Deadlock can be handled by ignoring the deadlock, deadlock prevention and avoidance, or deadlock detection and recovery. Since we are discussing the concept of mutual exclusion, we will be using deadlock prevention as it is done by negating one of the previously mentioned necessary conditions for deadlock. Let's say the resources are shareable. This means they are not mutually exclusive, giving the processes the chance to be executed, hence preventing a deadlock. However, for some tasks and processes, we can't disallow mutual exclusion just to prevent deadlocks. If mutual exclusion is disallowed, then all non-shareable resources become shareable. While this may not hamper some activities, like a read-only file being accessed by a number of users, it poses serious problems for activities that require non-shareable resources, like writing a file. Preventing mutual exclusion in these situations gives undesirable results. Also, there are some resources, like printers, that are inherently non-shareable, and it is impossible to disallow mutual exclusion. Thus, in general, mutual exclusion cannot be disallowed for practical purposes. By the way, I am Rojhon Abalos, and now we are done with explaining the role of mutual exclusion and deadlock. I hope you comprehend something about its concept in this video. In the upcoming video, we are going to discuss the other necessary conditions for a deadlock to occur. Thank you for watching.